in this whole situation, it's interesting. I'd ask myself a question like this: if Jada Pinkett Smith wasn't, worth $500 million with her husband, would she be doing this whole charade? We know that if she wasn't famous and rich, nobody would care. But what would be different if she wasn't a super wealthy, mega elite celebrity? Like, what if she was just a regular lady who was in a fake marriage? How much effort would be put into maintaining that fake marriage? Do you think that she did it based on some sort of core value, like I'm never going to divorce my husband no matter what, or you think she did it because their marriage became a brand? Like Will and Jada, like Will is a brand that's worth probably hundreds of millions of dollars, maybe a couple, actually probably billions by now. Jada is a brand that's worth at least hundreds of millions of dollars. Will and Jada are a brand, right? And that's a brand that could be sold. Like they could have literally done commercials together. They probably endorsed products together, etc. Even you and I, to some extent, kind of became a little bit of a baby brand. Like there are people that are like, oh, I love I love you as a couple, etc. And it's interesting because it's kind of weird because it's like I kind of want to also tell people like don't put us too high on that pedestal because I don't want you to be disappointed when you find out I'm not perfect or she's not perfect because ain't nobody perfect. Like so what do you think in terms of the money? Like do you feel like the money creates pressure for Will and Jada to kind of maintain a charade that they wouldn't maintain if she had been just a regular lady who went off and ran off with Tupac or something?
Yeah, I don't think I get the impression that Jada is done with the Will and Jada brand. I think she's done with it. She's ready to get rid of that whole brand. She's ready to just like let's just leave that where I'm going off on my own right now. I don't want. She's strengthening her own brand, and she's like, "Will, you can go and strengthen your brand." I don't know where is he on a boat somewhere in the middle of the ocean? I don't know. He's finding himself.
How about the way Will has handled this though? I give him mad props. Like he's handling it like such a pro. Like you see the video where he said, "Here's my official statement," and he starts talking. So what I think is, and he goes, "Achoo," and he sneezes, and then they just pan out to like this massively crazy image of him like on the planet Earth or something. It's real weird. You got to see it. But following him on Instagram is interesting because for 9 straight days, Will did not make a single comment about anything on his Instagram. His Instagram was flat dead for 9 days, and I'm wondering what was going on during those 9 days. And then when he finally,
no notifications, he turned his notifications off.
yeah, and I love it because I like the way he's like, I'm acknowledging it without acknowledging it. I'm gonna let you know that I see it, but I'm also gonna let you know that I'm Will Smith and I don't really have to see it, and I don't have to sort of communicate that. And then also I saw he put out a rap song. Did you see that?
I saw something. I'm busy all day.
That's true. I know we got better things to do.
I was being mom. I was being mom, wife, and therapist today, so I was pretty busy. But okay.
I looked at the reactions to the song. People liked it. Like Will really like did a good job.
What did he have to say? What was the message in the song?
He was. I think I felt kind of defending who he is to kind of say like it starts off with, "Let me remind you of who Will Smith is." And he starts talking about how much money and fame and power he has. Like, I think he said something like, if I went to the club and threw money at the stripper, it'd probably kill her because of the weight of the money. Like, everybody should check it out. And I'm wondering, like, what do you think? I mean, like, yeah, it was, I mean, it was like I could see him sitting in a room, again, because I think his family's smart and strategic, because his brother's like that, and they're just smart people. And I could see them sitting around saying, how do we respond to this? And I think that the message was, remind the world that you're Big Willie. Remind people of what you are. Like, no, you're not some simp. You're not some, broken man. You are a megastar who has accomplished more who accomplishes more in a year than most people accomplish in 10 lifetimes. And because he referenced that in things like that in the song, like it would take you 100 lifetimes to make the amount of money I made in one movie, just that kind of thing. So that excessive, almost hyper masculine arrogance that rappers do. Like, I'm gonna sit and brag on a whole song about how great I am. I felt like it was kind of being defensive though, but it was a good song. Like,
I think let's just talk about this. I think like what Jada has been saying has been coming across as disrespectful to Will. Those are the things that I'm just saying, and so he's just saying, I don't care. So what? I'm a man. I think that
Mm,
rap and the way you're describing it, he's creating his own brand apart from her.
mm.
He's creating his own brand apart from her.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna tell you. I think he's handling it very well, and
This is
people like the song. Like he actually
okay.
he's still a good rapper, and he's very talented. And I think that by him sort of saying like, let me remind you of why you love me. I think that's the formula. Neil deGrasse Tyson did that too when he got this crazy accusation where some lady said he grabbed her booty 12 years ago or something. Just again, these crazy unproven allegations or whatever. He wrote this really long, super smart response that I thought was amazing, and people are like, oh yeah, that's right. We don't really know if you grab the lady's booty or not, but we know that we love you because you're smart. And I think that's good advice for anybody. Don't spend too much time trying to make your critics like you. Just remind the people that do like you why they like you, and they can forgive you for not being a perfect person. And so I think that with Will, what do you think? What do you predict going forward? Like, how do you think this is going to end? You think it's going to escalate and get worse, or you think, like, I mean, if they were in your office and they were a couple, because you see a lot of couples, like, how would you start that conversation?
Okay, well, I want to say two things before I go into that. Number one, I think it's kind of like, I think what I'm getting from Will and Jada is that we already knew what it was about. We already knew what we was doing. I think I get from them that they've already agreed to how they're going to operate their marriage.
Hmm.
Okay, and now the rest of the world is catching up with how things have been for a very long time. It looks like the message Will is putting out is that I'm very comfortable with the way things are.
Mm. Hmm.
I'm good. That's my message. I'm good. Okay, everybody else, we're all today, we're late. We're showing up late to the party. This party been going on for a long time. It's old party to them two. But to us, it's like, what? We're showing up late to the party. So that's the first thing I want to say. The second thing, okay, so it seems like Will Smith is just, he's teamed up with Jazzy Jeff and they're going to make an album together. I don't know. Is that his way of starting his brand? He and Jazzy, I'm down for a Jazzy Jeff, Will Smith album, if that's the case, going back to his homeboy from Philadelphia. So that was the two comments I want to make. If they were in my office, I would ask them, what are you comfortable with? It's not up to me to put my values on any couple. My question to them would be, are you comfortable with the way things are going? You've been living apart, but you're still legally married. This is the status quo. Do you want to continue with the status quo? It seems as if they're quite comfortable with how their marriage is going. The rest of us we're not that comfortable because we have in our head how we think marriage is supposed to be and how it's supposed to look, but who cares? It's none of our business. It's whoever's in my office, they have to decide. Both of them need to have a voice. That's the biggest thing. You have a voice because you're in the relationship. Are both of you on the same page with how your marriage is operating? And there's different ways in which people operate in a marriage. Open marriage, closed marriage, monogamous, polyamorous, polyandry, whatever. It's not me to tell anybody how it works. It's me to facilitate a conversation so that everybody can get on the same page. Whatever it works, as long as it's legal.
Okay, by the way, everybody.
Nobody's getting hurt. No one's getting injured and hurt. I'm good. Yeah.
All right, and by the way, everybody, you're watching Pillow Talk with Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia Watkins. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. This is my wife, Dr. Alicia Watkins. And we created Pillow Talk because we like to we normally talk against our pillows. We literally in the bed when we talk typically, but we like to have intelligent, fun conversations about things happening in the Black community. So if you are intelligent Black people and you like to talk about topics that relate to love and money and stuff like that, we hope you'll hit the subscribe button, thumbs up, all that stuff. Also, all the content from drboycetv.com is actually on Spotify and Apple. So if you look up my name on Spotify and Apple, Boyce Watkins, you can find it there. And this weekend is the All Black National Convention that's going to happen in Atlanta. The online tickets will no longer be sold after tomorrow. After tomorrow at, I think, midnight, There are no more online tickets, and there won't be tickets at the door, from what I understand, because I think we're pretty much sold out. So if you'd like to join us either physically or virtually and connect with other B1 people, it's a massive convention. There's tons of great people there. It's a great way to build your business, to whatever it is you're trying to do, because we have vendor spots and all that stuff. Feel free to go to allblacknationalconvention.com. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. All right, so let me ask you. Let's hop into one more quick little point here. So what if Will and Jada decided, we just want to stay married, and every year we're gonna just keep coming out and doing crazy stuff that nobody understands, and we want to stay married for the kids and for the people that maybe not for the people.
Those kids are grown.
What'd you say?
Those kids are grown up.
Yeah, but I remember
together.
Well, I was reading somewhere, after as I put out that survey, and I saw that 92% of the respondents in the Black community basically said they do not admire Jada. And also, by the way, on my Twitter, I did another survey really quick. I'll give you guys the preliminary results, but I asked another question about whether or not you would actually admire Jada more or less now that she's speaking out, and I'll read that to you in a second. But I'm really trying to see, just in general, in terms of not just what you can learn from this. First thing, if I was to give a young person like a lesson off of this, one of the things I would definitely say is be careful when you're out here faking it. Like I don't know if the trade-off was really worth it. Like I kind of feel like the only thing that justifies the clownishness that Jada is kind of enduring right now, in terms of how she's looking, is the money, right? If Jada was just a regular lady who made, $30,000 a year, I don't know if anybody would want to be where she is in terms of being viewed the way she's being viewed. Like imagine your regular working class friend just decided, I'm gonna tell all my business to everybody and whatever. I don't really know. To me, the only value that's really here is entertainment value, right? Because Jada's achieving that goal, right? She's liberating herself by telling her truth. And also she's being heard, because they every time she talks and shares something crazy, there's a new headline, right? So she's being heard and she's being liberated, and she's probably being paid, because we like to pay money for things that get attention. But if you take the money away, is this a quality life? Like, is this a quality family situation? Does any of this make sense if there's no money attached?
It just not even looking at the money. Let's stripping away the money and the celebrity and the fame. If you get to her gait, her facial expressions, the words to come out of her mouth, she seems to be pretty miserable. Her struggles with depression, her addictions that she had, she had a nervous breakdown at her wedding.
Wait, what?
She said her wedding day was the worst day of her life.
Wow.
You didn't see that? But she didn't even want to be married. She did not want to get married when she got married. She had a panic attack. She was sick and everything. She did not enjoy that. She didn't even want to be married. She's talked about that quite a bit, that she didn't even want to be married.
So if she didn't want to be married, and let's assume that she also, at the very least, didn't want to be married to Will, again, this is an important point I want you to help me understand here. Because, sometimes people, you see it where people ask me all the time, like, you're a finance professor, why would you talk about this? And I asked you that question earlier. I said, if you took the money away, what changes? Everything changes. If you take the money away, like people got to understand how money, if you don't understand how to control the beast of money, it will control your life. Money is that demon that will come into your space. Next thing you know, you're like Charlie the puppet. Like the money is like the puppet master that's got his hand up your ass, and you're talking crazy, doing crazy stuff because of the money. What you got to say? What you got to say?
Let me tell you something.
This is Charlie the Negro naysayer, by the way. Sometimes I bring Charlie in, but really the money becomes the puppet master. You become the puppet, right? What do you think?
Let's not put this off on money, okay? Because I'm not going to curse money. Because when you talk bad about money, it walks away from you. So I don't want to do that. I want to attract abundance. So money loves me. I love money. Everybody loves money. You love money. And we all love it. Let's all attract abundance, because money is a wonderful tool that can be used. So let's not talk.
I'm trying to
Let's
make my
not,
wife laugh. Go ahead, keep talking,
you
man.
know, but I don't want to talk bad about money. I don't want to talk. It's like talking bad about electricity, right? Electricity is beautiful because I got lights on right now and I'm able to see everybody, you know. But if I lick my finger and stick it in that socket, it's gonna shock me, and I'll probably need to go to the hospital, right? But it's so. Let's just talk about how money, how money is. It just is, you know, and our relationship with money needs to
Wait,
be
you're saying money it just is. What does that mean?
that. It means that it's whatever you make of it,
Okay,
right?
okay,
So if
I agree. I agree with that.
and you say money is awful, money is terrible, you know, that's not a good relationship with money. And we talk about that in our, you know, our financial anxiety
True.
department, right? Financial therapy. What is your relationship with money? So when I hear people say, I don't like money, money is evil, money is terrible, you need to stop yourself from finishing that sentence, because money is a beautiful thing. It's a tool that can be used for all sorts of things. We got work done in the house. It took money to get work done in the house. That's a beautiful thing because it's created something visually stimulating to me, right? And to all of us, right? So we have to change our mindset and change our relationship with money. It is not something evil. It's not something terrible.
Well,
You
well,
know,
well. Let me
of course, the love of money.
let me jump in though. I never said. Did I? Y'all give me a yes or no. Did I ever say money was
I
terrible?
heard you say
No,
that.
no, no. Y'all know my PhD is in money. Have y'all ever heard me say money is just a terrible thing? Like you should run away from it and avoid it by any means necessary. Have y'all ever heard me say that? No, I've never said money is good. I never said money is bad. I said money is powerful.
Okay, I just
I
want to
said
make sure.
money is powerful, so let me just clarify that money is powerful in the sense that if you think about anything that's powerful, like fire, fire is a wonderful thing. If you're trying to stay warm, it can cook your food, it can do all kinds of stuff for you. But a fire that is out of control is a very
Yes.
dangerous thing. So money, like
Okay.
fire, is great as long as you control it. As long as you control
Okay.
the money doesn't control you. Because if you let it get out of control, and that's what's happened to this country. That's why America's in so much trouble. That's why right now, you know, people are getting killed over this in overseas wars, and I think $100 billion for Ukraine and all this other nonsense that they're doing. Money can has taken over your government. That's why the government does things that doesn't make any sense. So money can also, just like it took over your government, it can also take over your life. And so, to your point, though, I think with Will and Jada, that much money and that much power and that much fame can get to the point where it can become suffocating. I bet, where you find yourself just doing all kinds of crazy stuff because you know, well, it is another $10 million, it is another $30 million, and that makes it hard for you to say, you know what, I'll pass up the extra 30 million because I got to live my life. I got to be authentic. I got to do what's going to work for me.
Okay. I'm glad you clarified that, because I just want to
Yes.
make sure that's not what you were saying.
No,
Because,
no,
you know,
no. I would never say money's bad.
but
No, money
I
is
know you're
nice.
saying like money was terrible in this situation, because if she didn't have all this money, she would just be a miserable person. But even if you have money or not, it's not a guarantee that it's gonna make you happy, right? You clearly
Hmm.
realize that,
Well,
right? Okay.
I brought up the money really as an exercise so that everyone that is learning about money, you know, from this platform can see it applied in a real world, real life context,
Yeah.
right? Rather
Yeah.
than going out and getting a textbook or going into a classroom, the world is your classroom. Just look at the situation, and a basic exercise I want everybody to do is to say, huh, I wonder what this would look like if you took the money out of the equation. If Jada was a waitress and Will was a truck driver, you know, how much of this behavior would even make sense or be interesting? I say none of it. Even if they were famous, even if she was a famous waitress and a famous truck driver, and they're making 35, 40, $50,000 a year, it's like the money kind of shifts things, and I think it causes people to just end up doing these really awkward things. And what happens then is you are kind of trading your life for money, you know, because you end up married to someone you don't want to get married to. You're having panic attacks at your own freaking wedding. Well, why is that? Well, because everybody told you that you'd be a sucker if you didn't marry Will Smith, right? Because Will's going to have this great career, which he did. He became, I mean, he became the man everybody thinks that they would want to marry. And that's the interesting thing too. And I picked up on this when I wrote my book Financial Lovemaking, is that a lot of times you'll see some guy or whatever that has a lot of money and a lot of fame and a lot of power, and people automatically assume, oh, he's a great catch, or it'd be great to be married to him. Or you hear, I've heard women talk about, who they were dating or whatever, and they say, oh, he's a medical doctor. Ooh, girl, you got you a good one. What makes him a good one? You don't even know this man. You don't even know this man. You know how many medical doctors out here that are crazy, that would do terrible things to you? So you got to be able to think beyond the money and let the money be a part of the equation, but it can't be the whole equation, or you're going to make mistakes. I'll let you get the last word back.
Oh, I get the last word.
Yes,
I have
you
to
do.
say that I agree with you, and I'm glad you clarified that, because I didn't want us to walk away thinking that money was awful and it did something really terrible to the dynamic of Will and Jada. I was trying to strip away all of that and just look at them as individuals. And what I see is two people going through something really, I see them as struggling in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's working something out. And I think about how Jada did those red table talks. I think it would be worthwhile to go back and watch a little bit of that if we can again, and watch some of that again with these new eyes that we have now.
I didn't watch it the first time.
She was telling, it was actually, you know what, her red table talks was very, very informative. She had really good guests on there. She had really excellent topics. Like, you could learn something from her red table talk. So I can't really say, but I think that now that we know what was really going on behind the scenes, so to speak, it'll be interesting to see it, because she really was, from what I can gather, she really was working something out. She was working through something that she was going through by doing those red table talks during COVID. I mean, that was the time that she started that, and I think that she needed that for her own mental health, to be able to talk about these things. She needed an avenue or a place. It was basically therapeutic. It wasn't therapy, but it was therapeutic for her to have those red table talks. So it all makes sense. She's developing and evolving, like all of us are developing and evolving. She is.
Okay.
So
Well,
I think we gotta give her a little bit of more compassion, honestly.
well, I'm not mad at her. I do think some things sometimes you can vent privately, though. You don't have to bring the whole world in on your little secret, and
That's her learning process. She's got to learn.
Well, just so
how to calibrate that.
Well, just so you guys know, as you guys know, my Twitter, which is Dr. Boyce Watkins 1, I did a survey to ask that other follow-up question, which is, do you admire Jada more or less now that she's kind of been speaking? And let me tell you, it was an absolute landslide. My Twitter is Dr. Boyce Watkins and the number 1, by the way. If you want to go in and check out the survey and comment, it's up there right now. And it literally 92.9% of you said that you admire her less because of this. Like, so wherever you were before, it didn't make you like her more. But at the same time, maybe it made her more interesting. Like a lot of times in media and television, when they're signing these big TV deals, they don't care so much whether or not people like you. They care more about whether or not people will just watch you. And unfortunately, weird stuff gets all the attention, right? Like, and this is a little pet peeve of mine. There's so many smart people, smart therapists, and they're friends of yours and stuff like that deserve to have a big platform because they're actually healing people and helping people, but they get outshouted by somebody who is a man hater or a woman hater or ratchet or crazy, and then you wonder why the community ends up being ratchet or crazy, because you don't listen to your thinkers, you listen to your loudmouths, right? So I'm not saying Jada's a loudmouth. I think Jada can be seen however you want to see her, but I think that to some extent I would encourage everybody to take that time to heal, because healing is how you can have a quality life, right? Fight through that trauma, all that stuff. All right, guys. Well, anyway, my name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. This is my wife, Dr. Alicia Watkins. You're watching Pillow Talk with Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia. If you could, please hit that thumbs up button. Thumbs up, share, subscribe. Also, this podcast is on Spotify and on Apple. So if you go to Spotify and Apple, and look up my name, Boyce Watkins, you'll find all of our content there. You can check it out. And also Alicia's website, if you want to see what she does. She sees a lot of clients, probably an overload now. And you can go to coachingwithdralicia.com. That's coachingwithdralicia.com. And also this weekend is the All Black National Convention. If you want to be around like-minded, B1-oriented people who think like you, join us either virtually or in Atlanta. You can go to allblacknationalconvention.com. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. And also, you can get a copy of my book, Financial Lovemaking, at drboycebooks.com. And Alicia's books are there as well. So feel free to go take a look at that at drboycebooks.com. So hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We love you. We'll check back in with you a little bit later, and we'll see you soon. Take care now. Peace.